Welcome to Buckets on Buckets, presented by KFC on Overtime. I'm JJ Redick. Tonight, I'm going to be joined by some of the best hoopers in the game. Jamal Murray, CJ McCollum, Chelsea Gray of the WNBA, and Duke NBA prospect Cassius Stanley. Before we get to those people, I'm going to be joined for the first quarter by my guy right now, former teammate with the Philadelphia 76ers, one of the best people in the entire NBA, Boban Marjanovic. Boban, what's up, man?
What's up, my friend? What's up, my friend? I get shy a little bit, just to know. I like that to hear. Thank you, brother.
Wait, what do you get excited about?
I'm excited to say I'm like one of the best person, and I like to hear that. And yeah, I'm so shy. And thank you. I think the same way for you, my friend.
Oh, I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
you're joining us from Serbia right now.
Yes, from Serbia. Now it's like 1:32 right now here, a.m. And I'm so happy to talk with you and be here, and of course watch a game and enjoy beautiful KFC.
I love it. KFC in Serbia. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
KFC Serbia, I get on time.
Yeah. I'm sure in your country, I'm sure in Serbia, you're probably a little bit of a rock star. You know, like a celebrity, like The
Yeah.
Rock or Rihanna or someone like that. How are you treated in Serbia?
First I want to be like rock star, and I walk around with my guitar, and they was like, to play? No, I just feel like that. And no, it was so fun be around. Like everybody want to take photo, like you are, like basically the same, but they won't take photo, like talk with them. They ask me for some question. How is United States? How is basketball? How is bubble? How are your teammates? Of course, everybody asks for Luka. How is Luka? Because like everybody love Luka, and how your relationship with Toby. And this is like all question random what I talk about.
Yeah. Who's the most famous person in Serbia? The most famous Serbian?
The most famous Serbian is Novak Djokovic, tennis player.
Jokic. Yeah.
Uh, Djokovic.
Jokovic. Oh, the tennis player. Right.
Jokovic, tennis player. And after that, Jokic. Sorry, my friend, Jokic, Nikola Jokic.
What do you think? What do you think Miami's got to do here in Game 3 to get a win? They're a little outmatched. Goran Dragic's out tonight. Bam's out tonight. What do they have to do to sort of solve Anthony Davis and LeBron tonight?
I think it's hard game. Like I watch them. Miami play amazing, and of course they're missing these like two best players in the team. They have Jimmy, but this is not enough. I think like Lakers play amazing. They play every game better and better. How I watch a couple games against Denver, and how they play. And now they watch like these last two games when they play against Miami. It was tough. It's not easy games, but they need to play a little bit better if they want to win.
Yeah. Well, I also think too. We talked about this the other night a bunch, and it's been the case again. Game 2, Rondo was just so good, and if LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to play at sort of all NBA top 5 player caliber level, and then you have the Lakers role players stepping up like KCP and Danny Green did in Game 2, and like Rondo did in Game 1, and like Rondo did in Game 2. The Lakers are pretty much unbeatable right now. I hate to say that. They look unbeatable.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. When you go in the paint, they're so tall. Like when I say they're so tall, they're really so tall. You go in the paint, you take that like offense or defense rebound, be there. I was like, wow. Me, first time I'm watching like somebody like like up to the sky, and I was like, man, these people like they have high, they're fast, they skill, they're running good, and they have like full bench of great players, like everybody do. Let's go be honest. It's NBA.
There's a great GIF of you, by the way. I think Anthony Davis was still on the Pelicans. I can't remember. Were you on the Pistons or the Clippers?
No, the Clippers. The
Clippers.
I was in the Clippers.
And you have the ball. You're holding the ball up in the air, and he's trying to knock it out of your hands, and he can't reach it. It's great.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I didn't expect that like something happened like that.
Yeah.
And it was like I just holding the ball, and this is it. Like, and it's just happened. It was fun, and I think he accepted the joke, and he laughed too. I didn't want to laugh because like it's like it's sound. I want to do that purpose, but I didn't. I just hold the ball up, and it just happened like to be like nice nice highlight.
I think it's kind of hard for people to understand just how big your hands are. Can you just kind of show them up for the camera for us? Is that possible?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
you can probably grab like a whole bucket full of chicken if you wanted. But how is it weirder for you to? I would assume it's sort of weirder for you to shoot a basketball. The ball probably feels entirely different in your hand, let's say on a free throw or on a jump shot, than it does in my hand.
You know, I watch you how shoot before the game because I'm shooting around and like every ball go perfect and perfect and perfect. You know, like everything amazing and like ball fly. And I know that every time when you shoot, they go in for sure. And but for me, in like couple cases, if I catch, sometimes I can catch like with these fingers or this finger or these fingers. When I shoot, I try to like because I shoot with one hand, I try to like. Make a balance with all fingers together, like, you know, try to make a balance to the basket. I don't know how to explain. Like the ball, try to touch all my fingers, but it's so hard because like I need like to put my fingers a little bit like together. I cannot like spread.
Right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And like this, yes.
That makes sense. Can you dunk?
But
can you dunk flat-footed?
Tell me.
Can you dunk flat-footed, or do you have to jump a little bit?
No, I need to jump a little bit. It's a little bit. It's like, hey, for me, this is like I need to jump high because this is my jump. Your little bit, it's my highest.
How aware are you of your sort of fame that has kind of taken hold of NBA Twitter and your fame within the U.S. and the NBA? I know we talked a little bit earlier about just being famous in Serbia, but you're a pretty famous dude over here too.
Hey, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
No, you are.
Corona time, only fist bump. I wash my hands after. Wait. No, first I want to say, because like a lot of my friends, when I ask, I be here with you, and you know, I post that on Instagram, and they tell me to say you hi, my friends, because they love you here, and my teammates, my ex-teammates, when I play here in Serbia, they love you how you shoot. They want to be like you. And we was young before, and you was in the college. I don't follow the college, but when you was in Duke, and like a lot of people say, hey, JJ Redick, JJ, and like I have a lot of teammates who say that for you, and I don't follow college, but you're the guy who I know from the college to like all your NBA career first, and you do a great job on Twitter and everything what you do, like for the fun, for the people, they love you, they support you, and amazing. And I look in you, and I want to be like you on a Twitter, on Instagram, and everything what you do. Like I try to learn my English better.
Hey, Boba, you're the best, man. Thank you for saying that. That's very kind of you.
No, this is true. I don't want to be kind. I just want to speak true here.
Yeah. Who do you think besides like Jokic and you? Who are the most popular players in Europe? Is it just the normal cast of characters like LeBron, or is there somebody that's really popular in Serbia?
You know, like ex players who play before for national team, they're so popular, like in Serbia, like Vlade Divac, Peđa Stojaković, Vlada Radmanović, Dejan Bodiroga. I don't know you heard for Dejan Bodiroga, Rebraca, Danilović. You know, this is the guys who is like, when you see them on the street, I watch them how I'm young, and when I see on the street, like full respect, because they do so much for our national team.
Yeah.
But the players who play right now, it's like mostly like players from NBA. Bjelica, Bogdanovic, and Jokic, and me. Like so far, like we're popular in Serbia right now about basketball, and everybody know who we are, and everybody follow us in NBA. It's tough because it's night. We play during the night. Like now it's like 1:30, 7:40, whatever here, and it's hard to watch. And they give us full like how to say, they give us. Like wind in our back so we can play better.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we're getting ready. Support. We're getting ready to tip off here, Bobby. This is really important, I think, for Miami to get off to a great start. And they need to get Duncan Robinson going. They need to get him going.
Yeah, but he's amazing. Every time you watch the game, like when shoot the ball, I was like, wow, it's super perfect, like amazing.
I've seen that play ran
Okay.
so many times off the tip. The center tips it back to LeBron.
Yes.
They set a back screen
And
for
he
Dwight Howard. We see it every time when we play the Lakers, and it's like the last play you go over in the scouting report, and they pulled it off in Game 3 of the Finals. That's unbelievable.
It's true. This is the same thing they do Phoenix too.
Yes.
Phoenix do the same thing with the Aiton.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Miami defends, because if you look at offensively, you know, they played a good game in Game 2, but the Lakers have just been able to score pretty much every time down the floor, and there's got to be a pickup, you know, in terms of their defensive strategy here to get stops on a more consistent basis.
But you know, I think it's hard. Like they come ready from the locker room, because you see how they play from beginning of the of the game. You know, every time when you start to play a game, everybody like little bit like, you know, still warming up, but they start to play like really like tough right now from beginning.
Yeah. What's the opinion of like LeBron in Serbia? Do people think that he's the best player in the NBA?
Yeah, LeBron, it's LeBron, man.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable what he dunk, what he do, how he make block shots, what is his recovery, how he prepare his body, man. Like it's like amazing. Everybody talk about him, and everybody say like, you know, like he look amazing. Like look at him, like his body, it's perfect. He move perfect. You know, like he was like, you only when you watch him how he play, you can only say wow.
Yeah. How much longer do you think you want to play? LeBron's sitting here in year 17. He'll be 36 in December. I mean, how much longer do you want to play?
Like from him to
no,
play?
No, you. Me, how much longer do you want to play?
Me. I don't know. I want to play more. Wait. Sorry, I had it.
It's all right. Bobby's having some difficulties.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all good.
We talk about my hands, and I slide the cable. Too heavy. I cannot control.
Yeah.
How long I want to play? I want to play maybe like, you know, like still you never know. You want to play more and more and more. Like if you have 40, you can play 40. If you play 50, you can play 50. Of course, it's not possible. But with
Myers Leonard with the big three. No, I'm with you, man. I think you gotta play as long as they'll let you to play until they tell you to go home. You just got to keep playing.
Yeah.
The NBA is just it's too much fun. Basketball is just too great of a game, and there's nothing like playing on this stage and playing in these games. I'm trying to think. Obviously you played with us last year in the playoffs with Philly. Was that the deepest you've gotten in the playoffs, or how deep did you go with San Antonio?
We get with San Antonio the same thing. We lost in the second round in playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost against OKC Thunders. Yeah, and this but it was fun run. Every time playoff is fun. And how long you want to play?
4 more years. 4 more years.
4 more years.
Yes.
But hey, let's go 7.
No. See, here's the deal. If I play 4 more years and the season ends, I'll be 39 when the season ends, and then right after the season, I'll turn 40. So it's like a perfect goodbye. Take me to year 18.
But because you're in so good shape, you can run to the player who played the most NBA season in NBA, or who play till like more years in NBA, like with the oldest.
Well, we'll see. For you watching this game? Like, what do you want to see from the Heat? What do you need to see for them to get back in this series?
I don't know. So far they do a great job. Look at them. Like they play, like they share the ball. Like you know, like look at them. Like they try to get open shots. Like so far, he make and no. This is much important. Stay ready. Stay down and watch the ball. And every time in this game, you must stay focused like all 48 minutes. You cannot chill out.
Yeah.
Like none of. Yeah.
I was reading this article earlier today about Anthony Davis, and you know, when Golden State was great, the league kind of trended towards all of these rangy wing defenders. And if you look at Miami's starting lineup, they've got Myers Leonard and then a bunch of guys that are basically 6'5" to 6'6". And Anthony
Yes.
Davis has basically broken that model. And it just seems like they don't have a way to match up with Anthony Davis. And that, I mean, as good as LeBron is, we just expect this greatness from him. Over the last, 14, 15 finals games for him, he's at 30, 10, and 9. But Anthony Davis, to me, is the difference. He's been the MVP, I think, the first 2 games.
And like Anthony Davis play amazing, like what he do. And against Denver, he heard that I think a wrist. No, he took ankle.
Yeah.
And he jumped. They throw him like lob, alley-oop pass, and I was like, man, he jumped like with like pain in his ankle. Like I was like, wow, how he can do that? And he's like how he run, what he do, and how he block the shots. He's every time off his defense, and he's ready to take the championship.
He's great. We're Heat off to a great start right now, creating opportunities in transition. Duncan Robinson earlier had a great back cut for a layup. As we go to commercial, Boban, we are going to take a game break, and that means we're going to the bucket, and we're going to take some questions from fans. Are you ready?
I am born ready, my friend. With you, I'm born ready.
I love it. Who is the most supportive teammate you've ever had? Besides me, of course.
The most? Because I don't want to take here supportive. I think Tobias.
Yeah. I kind of knew you were.
Hey, look, I must go with my guy. This is so. I'm so lying right now, but okay, I must take Tobias.
Okay. This another user wants to know, what kind of car does Boban drive?
I drive a Range Rover, the best car. Range Rover, best car, commercial. Let's go.
I love it. Next question on IG, Boban, how does it feel to be labeled the nicest person in the NBA?
Oh, I like to hear that. And I think my mom is so proud of me right now because, he asked me, you tell, and it was so nice to when my mom read about that in newspaper because she don't speak English. It was like, wow, you're amazing. Now I know I do a great job with you.
She did it. She did a good job raising you. But all right, next question from Instagram as well, Boban. How high can you jump with 100% effort?
How high? I don't know.
Can you jump over a phone book? Can you jump over a phone book?
Easy.
10 phone books.
Yeah, I think yes.
20 phone books.
No way.
Yo, we got to know you versus Taco Fall. Who wins that one-on-one?
Hey, but every time I go for me, never mind who asks the person next, I will say, hey, Boban win everything.
Yes, of course.
I too much believe in myself.
I love it.
So I can give in somebody else.
I think it was like maybe a D Wade commercial. The tagline was, "My belief is stronger than your doubt." I tell people that all the time. My belief is stronger than your doubt. People don't realize, man, you are a bucket. You are a bucket.
Hey, they don't believe me. I was like, okay, hey, thank you because you're my teammate and you know.
Well, you're I think you're still one of the most efficient offensive scorers in NBA history. So that's saying a lot with all the great players that have played in this league, and you're one of those guys.
Thank you very much.
Where do you feel most comfortable on the floor? Is it left block, right block, 3-point line? Where do you want the ball?
So far, I feel on 3-point. This is not feel my comfortable. No, paint okay. is my area. When I know when I get the ball in the paint, and I don't spread my elbows too much in my defender face. Yeah, everything is perfect.
Yeah. I got a question about just your year in Dallas, and you got the opportunity. I know you get asked a ton about Luka Doncic, but just what can you tell us about something about Luka that maybe we don't know already? Something that you learned about him this year, being his teammate and getting to play with him.
He's young guy. You have young guys who is selfish and don't want to talk with nobody. He's everybody know how he good player. He's magic. You watch him how he play. You enjoy every move he make. Every game he makes some new move. like you make you like, wow, this guy is amazing. When I watch him, I feel like I'm so proud of him to watch him and enjoying his basketball. But he's like, like you have 21 years old kids when they don't want to like they're like so selfish in some way of like they learn to live by themselves. And he's not like that. He's like nice guy, nice friend, nice teammates. He will help you everything, whatever he need and whatever you need. And he's like the perfect star in every ways to kids can be like him. Like on the court and off the court.
Yeah, no, I that's great to hear because as a player, I think he's a future MVP, All NBA. I mean, he already is All NBA, but he's just such a great player, and to hear that he's also a good dude makes me happy. I want to ask you about this little thing you guys did. So all the Balkan countries, Serbia, Slovenia, Montenegro, Croatia, Bosnia, all the players that were in the bubble, you guys got together a few times for dinner. And my understanding is that the bubble restaurant turned into a bit of a nightclub. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. We bring our speaker and we listen our music. When I say our music, like music who like we like and we listen in our countries, in our clubs, and it's like it was one night of that, and we need to like little bit relax and like we just like chill out, talk about everything, like stay a little bit late than it's supposed to be, and have a great time, and no like long time we didn't see how you say. We talk like somebody have the games when we rest, like we rest when we play the games when they rest, and we don't have time to like catch each other. This is the perfect opportunity for us to like see each other and have fun and talk about everything.
That's such a great point that you bring up because that was one of the great things about the bubble. Because in an NBA season, you're just going in and out of a city so fast, and the one thing about the bubble was you were able to catch up with a lot of your friends from other teams and spend time with them. You know what? They fouled Duncan Robinson on the shot before that, and he finally got that one. And I'm actually curious if they review this because I think Dwight Howard got underneath his feet. Boban, could you sing? Is there any famous Serbian songs that you could maybe sing for us, or just maybe like a hook of a song? Like, what's your favorite Serbian song?
Are you read about that when Dragic say for the song? I read about like translation of the song. You didn't. Like they say like ne može nam niko ništa, jači smo od sudbine, mogu samo da nas mrze oni što nas ne vole. Like they say like in the song, we are stronger than destiny. They only can hate us like who don't like us. Something like that. But it was like so popular song when somebody feels so tipsy and strong and powerful, and you around your people, you sing that song. Like you must come with that song.
They're literally showing Dragic right there.
They're showing there. Hey, Dragic, we speak about your song, my friend. Let's go.
I love how that works. You also got the chance in Dallas to spend some time around who I think is one of the best owners in sports, and that's Mark Cuban, who is a businessman and an entrepreneur. And really one of the first owners, I think, in all of sports that started having a relationship with his players and sort of got up from the luxury suite box and got down on the floor with the team and became a fan. How was that experience, working with Mark Cuban?
Mark is an amazing guy. Like everything what he doing, and you guys know, he do even more good things than you guys know. Like he don't show everything good things what he do like for all people around who need help. He's like amazing owner, amazing guy, like friend when you need. Like if you feel running down, he's there to help you. He support players. What is like much important, he don't yelling on players. Like you never see that. And he's amazing guy. When I see him next to bench, I feel like he got our back, and I feel amazing. He's standing there, because sometimes you feel like he's there I feel like, tight, like stressful. You don't want to play. You don't want to play. Sorry. Like you don't feel good to play. And after that, like you see him, how he gives you support, and you enjoy to be around him. And he's like amazing guy, one of the best person that I ever met in my life.
I love that. Hey, real quick on this game, and you'll know this coverage as well. So the adjustment Miami's made here with Anthony Davis is they're in basically a three-quarter drape. So instead of a front or playing behind in the post, they're in a three-quarter drape, which forces the entry passer to sort of throw it over the top.
Higher.
And as he catches the ball, the guy guarding him sells out, so he has to go baseline, and then they're bringing that second defender from the baseline. And they've done it twice now in the last 3 minutes, and both times he turned it over. One time it was a steal, and Jimmy Butler just came over as the low guy, as that second defender, and drew a charge. There's a bunch of different ways to call that, a bunch of different terminologies. I've heard it called green, I've heard it called blue, I've heard it called a bunch of different things. Have you ever faced that coverage before? That three-quarter drape with the help coming from the baseline?
Yeah, not too much in NBA, but it was Europe a lot because they trap me, and it was hard, but I think adjustment it's like easy because you already know. Sometimes like pick and roll, they show or they double, and you basically the same thing but on low post, and you just like adjustment. I think is so easy. Just need to find like right player to be open and make shot like you make.
Yeah, no. So one of the issues with that is once you recognize that that's the coverage they're in, the backside rotation gets really tough. I remember a series we played in against Atlanta in the playoffs where we tried to do that coverage on Josh Smith, and he would just get the ball, and it was like clockwork. He'd automatically just jump in the air, and he'd make that weak side defender who was guarding two guys, one guy on the wing, one guy in the corner, kind of guess, and he'd just hit the other guy, and they'd get open threes. It's really hard to defend. You really want the ball to go back to Rondo. In that case, the guy right in front of the ball, that makes the rotation easier.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. I just say like what I see. Like I know like I can pump the ball like so easy. I can hold, and for my opinion,
exactly.
I can go up. But like it's funny. Like Miami plays like great so far.
Yeah, they're playing
really
wonderful, and the defense has been great. There's a foul, clearly a trip, and they almost didn't call it. I want to go back to Cuban real quick. So do you watch the show Shark Tank?
Yes, I watch every time when I'm on the road. Not every time, but mostly times that was on TV, and I watch that on TV, and I have fun. I really enjoy. Like people come with a smart idea, but like when I listen to them, how they talk to them, how they like when I listen like the guys who wanna make a deal with the people who come and show their project, and it was like I was like, look, like I'm the guy who showed the project, and I feel super sweat every time I watch focus on the screen. I say, come on, you can do it, you can do it.
I love it. You even root for the people pitching ideas on Shark Tank. Do you have any ideas that you'd like to pitch on Shark Tank? Do you have any products you'd like to pitch?
I want to pitch something, but if I tell you right now, it's be like somebody will stole it, and I must be quiet.
Hey, you're smart, man. You're smart. I like that.
Yeah, I learn from my old teammates.
Hey, speaking of, how hard? I know a lot's been made of this, but how hard was it to not play with Tobias? You guys kind of followed each other. You went from Detroit together to the Clippers together to Philly together. So you've spent a number of seasons in a row all getting traded together. And this season, he stayed in Philly and you ended up going to Dallas. How hard was that to be separated from him?
I tell him, I say like, man, I must go my way. You need to go your own way. Now I cannot like keep your back anymore. Now you must do that by yourself. No, I'm joking. I was like, it just happened. Like business is business, and and he's like, by himself right now. I don't have his back anymore. Like he needs to by himself. But never mind. Like you know better than me. When you stay with somebody, your friend. Never mind if you guys play the same team or not. Like he's an amazing guy and he's my friend forever. and
No
and
question.
it's every time we stay like that.
All right, we got another commercial break, so let's go to a segment called Quick Buckets. All right, so these are just some rapid fire questions,
Yeah.
and,
Okay.
and you just real quick answers. All right. So who, again, going back to the memes and the GIFs, there's a lot of memes and GIFs of you dancing. So who is the better dancer, you or Shaq?
Shaq.
At least you're honest. At least you're honest.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know to do robo dance. This is only problem.
Do you have a favorite memory from the bubble?
Yes, but I don't want to talk about that.
All right, I don't want to know then.
No. Okay. First time I catch a fish. First time I catch fish in my life. I never tried that anymore in my life.
Okay, just so you know, that pond, that lake, whatever you want to call it, it was definitely stocked with fish. That was an unfair fight between NBA players and the fish in that stocked pond. Just so you know.
But JJ, look at this. Look at this. My first fish, I almost to grab it. How I pulled back. I think it was like on Instagram all over. And the fish fell like in the water. I didn't catch. Basically, like I saw it, but I didn't see it. I didn't grab it.
Do you have a favorite pregame song?
No, I don't listen to music before pregame.
Oh, I love it. I don't either. Do you have any pregame rituals? Anything out of the ordinary that you do?
Yes, I lift too much. Oh. I lift and I stretch too much. Same like you. You stretch, I stretch. We stretch.
My only one is I have to have a brand new pair of socks for every game.
Oh.
It's my one thing. That's my one luxury in life is a brand new pair of socks before every game.
Take it. Nice.
Who's the most competitive guy on the Mavericks?
Luka for sure.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Luka for sure.
What size sneaker do you wear?
20.
20?
Yes, 19 or 20. 20, more 20.
And do you have to get every pair of shoe custom made?
I don't know. Yes and no. Like Nike have a lot of shoes.
Right.
But yeah, like so far, yes and no. Like 50-50.
All right. What's the best part about being a big man?
You don't need to wear fancy clothes to people see you.
I don't even know what that means. That's good.
Yeah, but everybody wear the Gucci, like on T-shirt, to people like recognize you. Like I don't need that to people see me.
No, you're saying basically you don't need to do anything to get attention because you're already going to get attention.
Yes.
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 All right. I like
that. Thank you.
What's the worst part about being a big man?
What is the worst part? You cannot fit in every car. Yeah, true. This is
logistically
the worst part.
Logistically that makes sense. There's small cars.
Yes.
And you have trouble fitting in them. I think the worst part about being a big man, I would assume, would be just not getting to shoot as many threes as guards. That would be hard for me.
It's true.
How many threes did you shoot this year, by the way?
This year I shot maybe the most threes so far, maybe like 9 or 10.
Oh, 9. Yeah, so not a lot. LeBron with another chase down block. That's his second time blocking Tyler Herro. His effort right now from LeBron. He wants this championship bad.
It's amazing. Hey, how he ran? Wow! Look at this.
Timed it perfectly.
Bum.
Beat it with his elbow.
Like a volleyball.
Like it was a volleyball. Yeah. I know with COVID going on right now, there's not a lot of movie productions happening, but you were in John Wick 3. You had an epic fight scene with John Wick, Keanu Reeves' character. Do you have? And it was like your scene was reviewed really well. Do you have plans to be in any more movies?
I hope so. I have plans. I don't know if people like who want to put me in a movie have plans to put me in a movie and be in more movies.
That's great.
This is the main question. Yeah.
How much did you have to rehearse for that hand-to-hand combat, that battle you had with Keanu Reeves?
We do that like 7 days before that, and like we're shooting on 8. Like it was fun. It was fun. Like I still didn't believe. I drive to my wife today on highway, and I was like, hey honey, I really was in a John Wick movie with Keanu Reeves, and I still don't believe in that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Did you get to like interact with him, hang out with him, like, or was he just kind of off in his trailer, came for the scene, left? Did you get to hang with Keanu at all?
Yeah, so we like 2 times have like practice together, and that time like really like the first time I saw him on one practice, and after that I saw basically we spent for 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. like we shooting that scene, and we spent like time together like fighting, and I didn't feel my jaw.
Why? He was really hitting you with the book?
No, a couple times, but
he caught you with the book a couple times.
A couple times. Don't worry. It was fun. It was fun. Like, and he's amazing guy, and like everything what I read about him, I can confirm that.
I love it. Again, the Heat off to a great start. Jimmy Butler in ISO right now just created a 3 for Andre Iguodala. Time before that, hit a little fall-away shot from 12 feet. I love that they're bringing second defenders right now on LeBron and Anthony Davis. And, you know, the Lakers guys have to hit those open shots, which they've done now. They've got 2 threes, Kuzma and Morris. Hey, if I came to Serbia and you and I were to hang out for a day and a night, what would we do? Take me through, like if I got 1 day to hang out with you in Serbia, what are we doing?
We go to visiting like, you know, all Belgrade so far, because like Belgrade, it's like the main time, because you have only 1 day. You need to see the best. And we go see a couple of museums. We go to see the city. We walk a little bit to the city, like to see like old city and new part of the city. And after that, we go like nice restaurants. After that, we go, they call splav. These like clubs on the water, like when like people like dance with all music. Like every club is next to each other on the water. Like, and you hear like R&B, Serbian music, hip hop. Like every club is next to each other, and you can walk to each of them. And like, hey, you will have a lot of fun.
It sounds like a great hang.
Yeah. You need just to come, nothing else.
What body of water is this, by the way? This is a river?
A river, yeah, it's a river.
Because there's no beaches in Serbia, right? You guys are landlocked.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so far we have before, but not anymore. And now like we only have lakes and a river. What's your favorite
beach or like country to go to for a beach in Europe? Do you have a favorite?
We go Greece. We go Greece or Croatia. This is where we go. Montenegro too. We go there too. Or you go to Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all great options. That all sounds great.
Yeah. So far, this is my options. They have more place to go, but you know, like you can check and we find some good place if you want to come in Europe.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't review this foul right here on Olynyk. I know he did. I guess he didn't slide underneath him, but I feel like they're reviewing those more and more now. Where if you land on a guy's foot, they're just going to the monitor right away. But kudos to the officials for getting that call right.
Man, I'm just here. I listen to you. I hear you. Nothing else.
I just know, for me as a shooter, man, I just want my feet protected.
I know.
I'm not trying to get my ankle sprained every time, because you know this because you play with me. But I like jump forward when I shoot, so I get a lot of fouls on jump shots.
I know. I know when they ask you why you don't go in three-point shot protection, you say you don't like it because you jump forward and you need to back for the ball.
Right. Well, Boban, this has been a lot of fun, man. I appreciate you
my friend.
You hopping on and hanging for a bit. This has been a lot of fun. I know it's super late there. I don't think you probably won't stay up for the whole game. So.
I think I will a little bit stay for first half for sure. And thank you because you like I talk with you. It's amazing to see you like on the camera talk with you. And now it's my time to watch a game and eat chicken.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon, man.
Okay, love you, bro.
All right,
Take
guys.
care.
This is KFC's Buckets on Overtime. You can go to KFC.com and get your own bucket. And that's the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back for the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. Thanks, guys. Welcome back to Buckets on Buckets, presented by KFC on Overtime. Next up, we're joined by a pair of Duke Blue Devils, Chelsea Gray from the WNBA's LA Sparks and NBA draft prospect Cassius Stanley. Chelsea and Cassius, what's up?
What up? How are you?
I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in. How are you?
I'm good. Just enjoying the game.
Did you get a chance to watch Game 2 of the WNBA Finals today?
I did watch it. I was hoping for, maybe Vegas can win one. We'll see about Game 3.
Yeah, Seattle looks pretty dang good offensively. Sue Bird averaging 13 assists through 2 games is pretty good.
It's amazing. I mean, she's been great for, all of her career, but to do this right now on the highest stage it's been pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you guys, so I did game one, buckets on buckets with KFC, and it was all Kentucky Wildcat players, Angel McCoughtry from Louisville, and D'Angelo Russell, who's a Louisville native. So to be joined by a couple of Duke alumni right now is a much-needed break. I appreciate you guys doing this, all right?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
I bet you that was difficult. That was hard to
way
just
too
have
much
a
talk about the
conversation.
Kentucky Wildcats. This is way too much. Way too much. Cassius,
I
what
know,
was
they think
your
their blue is great.
yeah, this is different. Cassius, what was your favorite part about your year at Duke?
I'd say probably obviously Coach K being my coach, but I think probably just being able to like interact with everyone on campus. Going to places like Divines, going to Shooters, going to get things to eat.
I love, by the way, that we're doing Game 3 of the NBA Finals right now, and we worked in a Shooters reference. I love it. And Chelsea,
I'm your guy, man.
Chelsea, can you please explain what Shooters is?
It's the local club bar. If you come and visit anybody at Duke, they will take you to Shooters. It's like a staple.
It's a country
Durham,
western
Carolina,
bar,
right?
and there's a mechanical bull in the middle of the dance floor.
There's a mechanical bull. There's a horse up above everyone. There's a cage. It's amazing.
There's a lot going on. We love it. Love it. I've spent a few nights at my during my Duke career going to Shooters. Actually, I think I went to Shooters. We had a day game in Philadelphia when I broke the ACC scoring record, and I think that night I went to Shooters. So Shooters always will have a special place in my memory.
Question: did you ever ride the bull?
No, I never did. I never had enough liquid courage. Did either of you guys ride the bull?
No, I didn't.
Never.
All right.
Never.
That's great. Chelsea, you've been an all-star. You've won a championship. Do you have any advice for Cassius as he gets ready to start his pro career?
Yeah, just enjoy the moment. It goes by fast. I'm now about to go into my 7th season, and those first 5 to 6 years it just went by. So enjoy the moment, and don't have any regrets. From rookie year until 5, 6, 7, you'll have a long career. Just take care of your body and enjoy the moment. Go win a championship. That's what it's about.
Sorry to interrupt you real
that.
quick. We're running into commercial, so we are going to do a little segment called The Bucket. This is fan questions that have been given to us on Twitter and Instagram. Just for the record, I did not write any of these questions. These are coming from fans, okay? All right, so the first one, this is for both of you guys. Why did you want to play basketball, and who inspired you to play basketball? Chelsea, why don't you go first?
I just love sports. Like, I grew up with brothers, and they just love to play sports. They play basketball, football, baseball, and I just fell in love with the game. And I started watching at an early age, NBA, WNBA, and so it was a dream just to be able to be out there on the court professionally, and I just fell in love with it.
That's great. And Cassius?
Same thing. I love sports. My dad's a sports agent, so sports is, all around my life. So, I knew I was going to play a sport, and then I just gravitated to basketball. Being able to watch great players like Kobe, Shaq, people in LA. So definitely those are people who inspired me.
Love it. For both of you guys, which of your teammates has been the most fun to hoop with?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with my girl Candace. She's super versatile. She can do anything. She could be a guard bringing it up the court. She can do post-ups. She passes the heck out of the ball. Her IQ is out of this world. So I'm gonna shout out Candace.
I love that choice. I'm a big Candace fan. Cassius?
I'm gonna go with Joey Baker.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Joey Baker's a great. I've played with him multiple times before coming to Duke, and then being at Duke, we've been in a lot of battles, a lot of wars. So Joey Baker's my guy.
Love that. All right, for both of you, who's the toughest player you've had to play against?
She was my teammate, so like in practice, nothing matched on the court during games. But Elena Beard, Duke had to shout her out again. You know
yes,
what I'm
that's
saying?
a good one.
But Elena Beard can do pretty much anything as well. But defensively, she's the hardest person I've ever had to score on.
Yeah.
Ever.
Elena was at Duke when I was at Duke. She was an All-American. She was my favorite player on the team. She was awesome. Cassius, who's the toughest player you played against?
I'd go Michael Porter Jr. I played him in high school, and he's very skilled, very athletic, very long, tough matchup.
All right, this is a question just for Cassius. Cassius, who do you model your game after?
I'll go with a combination. I'll go with Russell Westbrook and Zach LaVine. I think with just using athleticism, being able to create space, and be able to attack the rim and finish. So those two guys.
That's a hell of two people to model your game after. All right, for both of you guys, do either of you have a role model or a mentor that helped you achieve greatness and has helped you get to the point you're at today?
For me, I just always been a family person. My family's always been the support system, taking me to games, whether I were, super young and all the way up and through college, and coming from California to North Carolina, that was a trip. So they were always supporting me. And I kind of watched Magic Johnson and Teacher Pinachero play in the pro game, and I just kind of modeled my game a little bit after them. So that was like a role model in that sense. But my family definitely was my support system.
Love it. And Cassius?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Family's huge. My parents, I definitely just, like she said, that move from California to North Carolina is a tough one. So, being able to talk to your parents, talk to your family, and have them as a support team is huge.
This is the point in game two where the game got away from Miami. Game one as well, they got off to a good lead, and LA's gotten back in this game with threes. Kuzma hit a couple, Marcus Morris, AD just hit a three. Again, it's similar to the first half of game one. Like if LA's hitting threes and LeBron and AD are playing at an all-world level, Lakers are pretty tough to beat. Miami's got to weather this storm right here.
Yeah, this is an important time because they were just picking apart the zone a little bit and knocking down. Like they had wide open threes, especially in game two.
Guys, on my podcast, I do a little segment where we do a draft. We don't really have time to do a full-on draft, but I thought it'd be fun if we could just name a couple of our favorite sports movies. Do you guys have a couple sports movies that really stand out? Your favorite sports movies of all time? I'm going to tell you mine. I'm going to tell you mine real quick. I'm going to start with mine.
Okay.
I'm a big Mighty Ducks fan. I really think Gordon Bombay is one of the greatest sports movie coaches of all time. The trilogy still slaps. I love it. So that would be mine. The Mighty Ducks movies. I love them.
Okay, I like that.
I'm gonna go with. I'll give you three. I'll go with Space Jam.
Ooh.
I'll go with Above the Rim.
Another good
then
one.
I'll go with Blue Chips.
Blue Chips. Oh, that's a
Blue
great
Chips.
one.
Blue Chips. You can't beat that one.
You can't go wrong with those three. Those were great. For me, I'm gonna go Coach Carter. I think the coaching in that was great. Samuel L. Jackson was great. I'm gonna go Remember the Titans. I'm gonna throw a football movie in there, and then when I was growing up, it was Love and Basketball. It was on repeat. So I'm gonna go with those three for mine.
Yeah, Love and Basketball came out like in the middle of my high school life, and my girlfriend at the time played basketball, And so that was like, it was like, that movie was really meaningful. You know what I mean? It was really meaningful.
A lot of pressure there.
Yeah. Chelsea mentioned earlier in her advice to you about enjoying the moment. And Cassius, as you sort of have been preparing for the upcoming NBA draft, and I know this date has moved several times about when and
Right.
you know it's going to be. But have you given any thought to the night of the draft? And it's going to be different. It'll be a virtual draft. Have you given any thought to the virtual draft? Are you going to wear a suit? Do you have any special plans for that night?
Like you said, it's the dates have changed so much. So for me, I'm just taking it a day at a time because you know I was looking forward to October 15th, and then it got moved to November 18th. So hopefully it doesn't get moved again. And so you know I think I'm just going to be at home, watch the draft with the family. I do have a suit, so I'm probably going to put that on for a little bit. And then you know it's weird because it's COVID, so you know I think I'm just going to walk out my room, walk into the living room, hear my name get called, you know, celebrate, then go back in bed and watch Netflix or something.
Jimmy Butler just gave up a wide open layup to kick out for a three. Chelsea, do you remember any moment from your draft night? If I remember correctly, I think you were coming off a pretty serious injury and got drafted anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the year that I actually got drafted, I wasn't able to play. I was still rehabbing and things like that. So I was drafted in 2014, but my rookie year was the following year. But I just remember sitting at the table nervous because I didn't know if it was going to be called first round, second round. Like I had no clue. And my name started slipping throughout my senior season because I was injured. So I was just a nervous wreck. I felt like I looked good and things like that, but man, I was just a nervous wreck, just waiting for my name to be called, and like it was finally, you know, it's a gratifying moment for sure.
Yeah, there's Cassius. That's something you have to look forward to. There really is nothing like hearing your name called. I pretty much knew that if I got to 11, that I was going to go to Orlando, and so. There was really, like, I kind of knew who the first seven picks were, so like 8, 9, 10, and there was a little bit of nervousness, 10 especially with Seattle, because they had Ray Allen, and I was like, he was the guy that I look up to, and I was like, I kind of wanted to go learn from him, but then once they chose somebody else, I knew I was going to Orlando. But that moment when they say your name is just incredible. Cassius, give me a favorite Coach K story or Coach K quote or something that you'll just take away from your time with Coach.
Favorite moment, I think, was when it had to be when we beat North Carolina on the road. I think, you know, him coming into the locker room, I've never seen someone smile that hard. I've never seen anyone. You know, he was just lit up. I mean, it was just amazing. And seeing him that happy was crazy. And then my favorite quote has to be, he told us, I'm gonna keep it clean. So he told us it was like we lost to Wake Forest on the road, and you know he came in and we had a practice, and I think he already knew he was gonna kick us out of practice, but he let us, you know, stretch a little bit. And then, you know, he kind of just said, like, all right, we're going to run this play. And we started walking. And he just said, you know what, all you guys, get out of here. I'm not your coach anymore. Get out. And at that moment, I knew, like, you know, I'm going to remember that for sure.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of intense rivalries. Looks like Miami made another run. So we're going to go to another segment here. Oh, you want me to hold off? All right. I've been told to hold off on that segment. That's fine. You mentioned the Duke-UNC rivalry, and I think all of us are very fortunate to have participated in that. I know for me as a Duke fan growing up, like it was just a dream come true. I don't think enough is made though. Like in women's basketball, that rivalry is just as big. Chelsea, can you talk a little bit about your experience just being part of that Duke-UNC rivalry?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I think the game was on a weekend or something like that. And I started getting interesting messages, and I was just like, what the heck? Like leading up to the game, and it was just crazy. Like the fans were just crazy. I like walking to the bus, we had security, and it was that much like attention on the game whenever we played Carolina. And the arena was always sold out. It was like that was the championship game. Whenever we played them, it just felt like it was bragging rights, and we were a few miles away from each other. So I love it. I miss it actually. I really miss it.
I know Cassius mentioned the game from last year, which was sort of one of those classic Duke-UNC games. Chelsea, is there a game that you remember in particular? Is there a game that came down to the wire, a certain play that you remember from that rivalry?
Yeah, it was sophomore year at Carolina. I feel like the best ones probably are because you go in their house and and whoop them. But I think it was my sophomore year, and they had went on a run, and then finally we called a timeout. We came back out, and I remember we hit like 2 threes in a row, and then like I made the play where thought I was running back to half court to get back on defense, and like stole the inbounds play, and then from there I think we just took off. Yeah. And that was one of the games that's like really, really special.
Yeah, I think I went 2-2 at UNC, and one of those games was my sophomore year, which was one of those classic Duke-UNC games. They came back. We ended up going to overtime, and Chris Duhon had this great like length of the court, right foot, right hand reverse layup to win the game. Mm-hmm. And then my senior year, I'm not going to lie, just selfishly for me, I had 35, so that was probably my favorite moment.
That was your favorite moment
in my career. Duke-UNC was putting 35 on them at the Dean Dome. That was special for me. What do you for both of you guys? What do you think it is about playing at Duke? Playing for great coaches, obviously, but just the experience of playing at Duke and playing for such a high-level program and being in that fishbowl, how has that prepared you, Chelsea for the WNBA and Cassius for the next stage of your career?
For me, I think like night in and night out, we played great, competitors. Like no matter who like it was preseason, middle of the season, postseason, like we played great players. And I think, you get to the pro level and you see those same players, and it's like it prepares you to go against that matchup every time you step on the court professionally. And so for me, like going to Duke and being able to play those high level programs each time, we played Carolina, UConn, Notre Dame, those types of players that you see in the pro game now. So that's competing against them throughout my 4 years really prepared me later on.
And Cassius?
Yeah, for me, I think for me it was just about knowing every game, if you lose, that other team, their fans, their whole school is going to party, storm the court, and it's going to be on SportsCenter. And so, just knowing that you had to bring your best every single time, there was no option of, not bringing it, or you'll get embarrassed.
Yeah, I could say I think I lost about 20 games in my 4 years at Duke, and obviously some of those games were NCAA tournament games, and I think we lost one ACC tournament game when I was there. But the other times, if it was a road game, you better believe they stormed the court every single time. 100% of the time they stormed the court, and that feeling, it wasn't a very welcome feeling. Cassius, did you get the court stormed on you this year?
Yeah, we lost that. What was that? Clemson. Oh man, we lost to Clemson and they stormed the court. And then, we had that Stephen F. Austin moment. That was at home, and I think that was honestly worse. I think that was worse than losing on the road because I was just everywhere. It was like it was the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, I actually would prefer you not to bring that game up. I don't know why you did that. That's on you. That's not on me. All right, that's on you. All right.
That is on me.
All right, we got to say goodbye to Cassius. Thank you so much for joining us. Just know that I'm pulling for you. You're part of the brotherhood, you know that, and I hope you end up in a great situation, regardless of the number of where you get drafted. My advice to you is just hope you end up in the right situation with the right people, and you got a long career ahead of you, and I'm really excited about the future for you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
Good luck.
I'll see you.
See you. All right. Chelsea, we mentioned the WNBA final. First of all, I just want to go back to one thing real quick. Miami has responded. They forced another timeout. Jimmy Butler's playing at an unbelievable level right now. As a fan of basketball, where does Jimmy rank for you in terms of top 10, top 15?
Jimmy Butler. I feel like no matter what, it's going to be a wrong answer for other people, but he's definitely a top 15 player. I think sometimes outside people get people give, him a bad rap, but you can see what he's doing for this Heat organization. He's pulling people along and he's demanding greatness out of his teammates. And I think you appreciate that a lot more. And his teammates have his back. You can see that out there. How Herro, shouts him out almost every second he gets. And you love to see that. And they always said that Jimmy was the problem. He wasn't the issue. And he's made it work here. So that's been great to see.
All right, well, Chelsea, we're going to go to a segment called Beyond the Bucket. KFC has actually tested Beyond Fried Chicken in select restaurants. And as everybody knows, I am a huge fan of Beyond Meat, so I'm sure it's amazing. In this segment, we're highlighting an athlete whose reach goes beyond the game. And Chelsea, of course, that's you. Can you tell us about some of the awesome work that you're doing off the court?
Yeah, I did. This season, I developed an initiative called Assist for Equality, which I partnered with Equality California and Rock the Vote, and the LA Sparks matched any donation that I would make. So what I did was it was $50 for every assist that I made this season. And $25 went to Equality California and $25 to Rock the Vote. And we have a total of 11,600 donated after this season. But there's two programs. It allows people to get out there and talk to our youth and explain to people why it's important to vote, how to register to vote, the importance of completing the 2020 census, and things like that, just to, start with our youth. It starts with them, so you can lay the foundation there.
Well, I love to hear that because these are the conversations that I'm having right now as well, and I think it's really important that we all participate in our democracy. And I had Stacey Abrams on my podcast, and one of the things she mentioned was just how important the census is. So I'm glad. You're bringing awareness to that. I want to go back a little bit to the WNBA finals, and what do you think Las Vegas needs to do to make that a series, or otherwise they're going to get swept?
Well, you clearly see that they miss De'Erica Hamby a lot. Her connection with Asia Wilson, it's tough to guard. You can't really double Asia, and then she kicks out for the three with Hamby. So that's something that I think they really miss. Seattle's clicking on all cylinders. Sue is playing her butt off right now. But I think they're going to have to contain the 3-point line a little bit more. I think in the beginning they were getting a lot of paint points as well. So it'll be an interesting game 3. But I think some people on Vegas are going to have to step up and really hone in and be able to, force a game 4, force a game 5 to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, Seattle's offense right now is just ridiculous. And, I talked a little bit with Angel McCoughtry the other night just about how tough Breanna Stewart is as a matchup. And she's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to hold down like those type of stars, but just trying to contain them. Don't let others go off. Don't let their bench go off, and try to limit those amount of possessions where they get open looks. Make it difficult and get them out of their comfort zone. So I think the Aces are going to have to do that coming into Game 3.
So I think it was announced today. I want to say the WNBA first team, and your teammate Candace was on that list. I've known Candace a long time. It's amazing what she's doing right now, and it's funny because she's like my generation. She's LeBron's generation, Chris Paul's generation. Like all of us, we're getting a little older, but we're still able to be effective. Obviously, LeBron in his 17th season is doing amazing things, but for Candace to get first team all WNBA this year is just awesome.
Yeah, I call her year 13 from the start of training camp. She just looked great. Her body looked great, mindset, everything. And it's been a pleasure being her teammate the last few years. But this year, the way she came into the bubble, how she played, her mindset going into this year was great. And she deserves to be first team. She was defensive player of the year. They left her off the all defensive team. She's unbothered by that. But she had one heck of a year, and she was leading and trying to, will our team to make a run in the playoffs. So really proud of her this season.
I know, obviously, you play for the LA Sparks. I'm going to assume that you're not rooting for the Lakers. Did you grow up, a team of or a fan of one of the Texas fans?
No, so I grew up in Northern California, so I'm a Golden State Warrior fan from I'm a Golden State Warrior fan. Back in the day, Baron Davis, back when Troy Murphy.
Oh, wow. That's taking it back.
Adrian, lefty shooter. Yeah, so back in the day, not the bandwagoners that once they started winning got Steph and things. I love that team too, don't get me wrong. I'll take the championships. But back when it was the grind and it was the We Believe and they had the white blackout, all that type of stuff. So it was great. The
We Believe team was so awesome. That was actually that team was my rookie year in the NBA, and I actually ended up playing with a couple of those guys later on, Monte Ellis and Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes twice. But they were, I think for a lot of people, you became a fan of the Warriors because of that team.
I completely agree. You have those staples of, you see Baron Davis jumping up over somebody, Monte Ellis, his pull-up jumper, Steven Jackson, he didn't always, get the best rap too, but he was great. Those types of players that kind of laid the foundation for this, this Asian team to kind of make those runs and win the championships. It was great though, as a fan.
Yeah, I love what Miami is doing right now defensively. I think a lot has been made of their zone, and it seems like at times in game 1 and 2 they went too much to the zone, and now they're mixing it up a lot more. And even now, coming off a made basket, they went to man-to-man, and LeBron, of course, as smart as he is, finds the mismatch and gets a switch onto Duncan Robinson, finds the open man and hits the three. It's watching him play. It's like watching a world-class surgeon at work. It's unbelievable how good he is.
Yeah, he it's like a internal feeling. He is dissecting how they're playing. But I definitely think Miami is forcing them to make one more pass and force them. And I'm not sure how many turnovers they have right now. I'm not sure how many turnovers the Lakers have, but they're forcing them, to do something different, which I really like, and trying to keep them out the paint and doubling and showing a lot of bodies towards LeBron. But he's going to try to make the right play every single time. J.R. Smith just hit a big three. Maybe that can get, him in rhythm and things like that. But Miami's forcing them a little bit outside their comfort zone.
This is what I love about playoff basketball is the adjustments game to game. Mm-hmm. And, I just felt like LeBron and AD in the middle of that zone, especially in game 2 where they're just catching it at the foul line and just picking them apart. They really just didn't have an answer for him. And so, they had to figure out a way to match him up. And their response tonight, for the most part, is you know, if there is a mismatch, we're putting 2 on the ball. A lot of times when AD's had the ball on the block, they're sending that second defender, and it's made a huge difference. It's made a huge difference tonight. Chelsea, I'm gonna say goodbye because this is winding down. I really appreciate the time. It was great to catch up with you. I hope you have a great off season and a healthy and great next season in the WNBA.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great. Talking hoops is always the best. So enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, thank you. All right, this is KFC's Buckets on Buckets on Overtime. You can go to kfc.com, get your own bucket, have some dinner while you're watching the game. We will be back for the second half. We're going to take about a 15-minute break. We'll see you guys very soon. Thank you. All right, welcome back to Buckets on Buckets, presented by KFC on Overtime. We're hanging out and watching Game 3 of the Finals. The Heat lead at the half, 58-54. Next up, we're going to be joined by one of the bubble superstars, a Kentucky alum who absolutely tore up the playoffs, Denver Nugget Jamal Murray. Jamal, what's going on, man?
What's up, boss? Just chilling, watching the game. How are you?
I love it. I'm good, man. I'm good. You had like one of the most epic playoff runs in recent memory. In the whole time, but in that first round series against Utah and Donovan, can you just kind of take me through that rhythm that you were in, where you exploded for a 40 ball and two 50 balls?
It was cool. I mean, we weren't expected to go down 3-1 like that, so that kind of woke us up a little bit, and I realized how much was at stake and how much was on the line, and I just want to come out and just give it my best shot. If we're going to go down, at least we're going out shooting, at least we're going out fighting, playing hard. And I just took that momentum, I just took that focus and that mental energy, and I translated it to every single game I played. And even when the outcome wasn't great in scoring, I was doing other things, and I was just really locked in. So hopefully I can continue that level of play and that focus and start the season that way.
Do you feel like maybe getting down 3, because it takes a lot of energy, I think, to get back into a series when you're trailing, especially 3-1. Do you think some of the Western Conference Finals, you guys not being able to compete as well with the Lakers was due to the fact that you had to expend so much energy in beating Utah and then coming back against the Clippers as well?
Yeah, we definitely exerted a lot of energy. We feel like we're a young team. We can run all day, but to feel that impact of fatigue of a game day, off day, and when these games mean so much, it was tough, So it was unfortunately it was coming off an injury, but at least we gave it a really good shot, and we surprised a lot of people with how well we played together. So I'm proud of our group, man. I'm proud of what we did and what we accomplished, but we know we can do much better.
Yeah. I got a random question for you, actually. Do you practice 360 layups?
I've given them a try plenty of times. Me and my dad, we go through all the shots. We go through all the difficult shots and have confidence in making them. So sometimes when I'm playing, I look at where I am on the court or look down to see where I'm taking off from, and I can just kind of give myself an estimated guess and finish off the play.
That's amazing. I feel like it's funny because when you get off, after the third quarter, we got CJ McCollum coming on for the fourth quarter, and both of you guys, not the same skill set, not the same game at all, but both of you guys, I feel like, are two of the best at just making junk shots. I don't know what else to call them, but it's just like it's shots that no one else really takes and no one else really makes.
Yeah. Now CJ does the same thing. He just gets to the spot. Pulls up, right where you are, and uses his hands to do that. So he's a tough cover. I understand where he comes from with that. But I've been trying to get to the rim more, honestly. I'm just trying to get to the free throw line, try to draw more contact. It was just hard in the bubble,
I feel like that's probably the evolution of like every great scorer becomes, how do I get to the free throw line 8 to 10 times a game? All right, we're gonna go. Miami comes out hot again, makes a run to start the third. So we're gonna go to our first commercial break. This is a segment called The Bucket, where we take questions from fans. Jamal, I just want to tell you, I did not write these questions, okay? I did not write these questions, all right? All right. Somebody hit us up on IG and it said, ask Jamal if they thought they could come back against the Lakers.
Hell yeah, we thought we could come back. Why not? Why not?
You'd already done it twice.
We've done it twice.
You'd already done it
We've
twice.
already done it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a situation you want to be in, but.
Yeah. All right, somebody else wants to know how you stayed so locked in during the playoffs.
Really, I'm just addicted to basketball, and they put us in a room, and they said, "All right, we're playing for the championship. Every game matters," and just to come out, have a 50-point game, and knowing what I'm capable of doing, and my team giving me the confidence and the freedom to go do it, it really helped me a lot. So I just said my job is to score and lead the team and be vocal and put a lot of effort out on defense, and that's what I have to do to win. So it was fun for me to be in that zone and look forward to each and every game.
I love it. One of the things I've noticed in doing these segments is that people have really crazy Instagram and Twitter handle names. All right, the next user on Instagram asks, Jamal, how did you improve your game to all-star caliber?
Just being consistent with how I play.
Like, is there something specific that you focused on in terms of getting better? I feel like it was like a gradual thing, and then all of a sudden now it's just like an explosion. Like, I'm here.
I think just like with the team giving me so much more confidence, like, no, okay, we had better communication on what we want to do on offense, and we work with each other more. Okay, Joker, when the guard comes here, flip it so that I can come off and I can shoot three, or let's do the angle, let's do the pick and roll high, or when it's tight, let me hit you in the pocket. Like, I think we were just more on the same page where I could plan what I'm gonna do, and my teammates knew what I was gonna do. So yeah. When everybody knows when I'm gonna shoot and how I'm gonna shoot, then it benefits everybody.
All right, the J Real asked, was the whole getting to the NBA process harder because you are Canadian? I'm not sure what that question means, but I was told to read it.
That is a very good question, and it's fact. Growing up in Canada, we didn't have a lot of exposure to America in terms of basketball and stuff. It was more considered a hockey country, and that's what Steve Nash, Wiggins, Tristan Thompson, all those guys were kind of the pioneers in terms of making it to the NBA. And now I'm just the follow-up for Kitchener and for all the young kids where I grew up in small cities in Canada. To make it out here is kind of a big deal. So, yes, it was definitely harder, way harder to make it from Canada.
What was the feeling like coming back from 3-1 deficits?
It was good. I mean, like I said, it's a really good feeling, and it's a really big accomplishment, really big task to do with the team, but it's not a position we want to be in. We want to come out the way we are, fighting with desperation. And if we do that, then we're going to be really scary. So, yeah.
All right, we're back in the third quarter here. You guys obviously played the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron and AD, two of the probably 5 best players in the world right now. Obviously, they make a huge difference, but what is it about the Lakers? What are some of the things that they do so well or that they take you out of that make it so hard to beat them?
Honestly, I felt like we were right there. I felt that we made a lot of self-inflicted wounds on ourselves and did things that hurt us. But I just think the rebounding is crucial. When you give these guys such great scorers and passers, multiple chances at a possession, it's going to be tough, especially when you're playing good defense for most of the game, most possession. I think if we could just get some more boards, I think we change the whole series.
Yeah. That possession, by the way, looked like Miami basketball, even though Herro ended up shooting a contested 3. The back and forth and the ball movement right now is really good for Miami.
That was a nice layup.
That was a nice layup. Little sauce on that one. I wanted to ask you about the playoff atmosphere, because one of the things that I couldn't sort of get over was playing without fans. Like, there was at no point in time did it feel normal, or it just was surreal the whole time. And one of the things that makes the playoffs and especially the finals so amazing is playing in front of fans. And so did it change the environment? Did it change the competitiveness at all? Playing in the conference finals, on the biggest stage with no fans?
Definitely a much different experience. And guys are just kind of going at each other, being more physical, talking to each other, trying to get each other fired up to let them know how much this game, really means. Because it's easy to get lackadaisical or get lazy and fall asleep. So with the fans not being there and the energy not being as loud, I thought it changed the way a lot of teams played.
Yeah. think they're looking at maybe. I mean, I don't have sound on this, but it looks like maybe they're looking at a clear path here. Jimmy with 19, 8, and 8 right now, shooting over 60% from the field. Anthony Davis, 5 points, 5 turnovers, and Lakers as a team with 15 turnovers. I talked a little bit about this right before halftime, but one of the things that the Heat did, the adjustment they made, is when they're in man-to-man, they're just constantly sending a second defender at LeBron and Anthony Davis, and that's sort of the adjustment they made. You just had to figure at some point after game 1 and 2 they were going to come out of that zone.
Yeah, they got you got to send multiple. You got to make AD pass the ball. You have to make him pass the ball. He can score one-on-one over guys and shoot over guys and get to the cup, but if you make him pass the ball and make somebody else beat you, that's what we tried to do, and he still went out for 30 something.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's funny because, I played with Dwight in his prime, and obviously, you're sort of in your prime, ending your prime, whatever. Jokic is the same way. Joel, every great player that I've played with, you can try to take them out of what they want to do. And I remember playing with Dwight, and it'd be like, man, Dwight, he's not having a good game right now. Like they've really messed him up. And then you kind of look up at the scoreboard and you're like, oh, he's got 21 and 15. It's the third quarter. It's amazing. These guys are just so good. And obviously you're in that category now too. But the elite players, man, they're just different. They're just different.
It's funny because we see so much different types of defense. Like they blitz you, they go into a drop, they trap you, they try to down it. There's so many different things they try to do to knock you out of your rhythm.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe it was Game 7. I don't really remember. Was it Game 7 against the Clippers when you had 25 in the first half?
Yeah.
Okay, so they play the first half against you a certain way, and then they decide in the second half, for much of the second half at least, that they're going to blitz your action with Jokic, and you're just getting off the ball quick to him, and it's Jokic 4-on-3 catching the ball in the middle of the floor. That's an unstoppable play to try and guard. The two-man game you guys have is special, and because the two-man game you guys have is different than a lot of two-man games, because you guys do it every way. You guys do it off pin downs, you do it off DHOs, you do it off straight pick and rolls, you do it off the throw and go, and then you start cutting. It's really fun to watch. It's good basketball.
I appreciate you. I love when you're guarding me. It makes it so much easier.
You love what?
I love when you're guarding me. It makes it so much easier.
Jamal, I don't guard you. I will say one thing real quick. Man, first of all, I've been giving you love on here, and you come on here and disparage my defense. Come on, man. Come on.
I didn't say nothing about your style. I just said nothing offensively. Everybody got their weaknesses. It's okay.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago in Philly. I've really never really been dunked on bad in my career.
Oh, man.
And
I forgot about that.
It was like a 2-on-1 fast break, and I'm the last guy back, and I'm kind of like, I'm backpedaling, I'm backpedaling, like waiting to make a play, and I'm just waiting to step up and take a charge. And I guess I just backpedaled too far, and you just took off and put that left hand out, and I was like, oh!
Do we have the clip? I'd love to see that again. I haven't seen that in so long.
House of Highlights put it up. I actually told Omar, I was like, yo, man, every clip you've ever had of me up is me getting dunked on, or someone with a chase down block on me, like a LeBron chase down block. I'm like, man, I do good things on a basketball court. You can put them up occasionally too.
That's funny.
We had a couple Duke people on in the second quarter. My last game, I had 4 Kentucky people on. It was awful, and I know you went to Kentucky. I didn't realize, by the way, come on, man. Kentucky people, they're just different, bro. But I didn't realize you were the only player to average 20 or more for Cal. I had no idea. And if you think about
you can't stop disrespecting the Kentucky culture over here, baby. That's what we do. That's what we do.
I mean, you think about AD, DeMarcus, John Wall, Booker, all the one and dones that have gone through there. You're the only guy that's averaged 20. What did he tell you, like in your recruitment before going there? What was like the message? Did you know right away you were going to be one and done?
Yeah. If I played the way I played, I would be a one and done. That's the way I had to think about it. If I didn't play the way I need to play, then I'm probably going to stay. That's how my dad told me. But yeah, Cal just said, because we had 3 guards. We had Isaiah Briscoe, Tyler Ulis, and myself. So I was the best shooter, so I had to, space the floor, and I played off the ball a lot. And, that's where I got my JJ Redick going and coming off of floppies and pin downs. And, now when I go to the NBA, now I'm a combo. I can play on the ball, I can play off the ball, and I'm just as comfortable doing both. So it was fun to go to Kentucky because, it got me so many different looks and how it's going to be in the NBA. And Cal just said, hey, we need you to go score the ball. And that's what I tried to do.
I love it. Just reminds me of, my days at Duke when Coach K ran every play for me. Every play was floppy.
I had so many floppy plays.
Bro, I've actually, now that I've gotten older, like I feel kind of bad for some of the teammates that I played with at Duke because I'm like, y'all really didn't get any plays called for you ever. It was either a post up for Sheldon Williams or some screens for me, like 3 screens at times too.
Yeah, I had the option of coming out either way.
Yeah, by the way, LeBron just took Jimmy off the dribble and muscled in a point, but Jimmy in the bubble is got to be one of the 5 sort of winners of the bubble. If there's any winners of the bubble, he's got to be in there. You're certainly in there. Can you just talk a little bit about just what he's done in Miami and how impressed you are with sort of leading this team to the finals?
I'm a huge fan of Jimmy. Just the fight he plays with, the competitiveness he plays with, and he pushes guys to want to play and want to be better. He's trying to hold them to the highest standard. And I'd love to be a part of that. Like somebody that's always going at you in practice, somebody that's always talking to you and keeping you on your toes when you don't want to be. You need that when you're trying to be great as an individual or as a team. And to see how the team responds and that heat culture is really cool. I love it. I love to watch them play because they play with such a fight.
Yeah. Well, you guys do too, and it seems like you guys are definitely, obviously, building something in Denver. What do you think you guys need, or what do you guys think you have to do? Like, what is the next step? Because it has been this sort of, steady climb. You guys lost last season, Game 7 against Portland. Rondo with the tough lefty off the top of the backboard.
That's tough.
But you guys lost Game 7 last year against Portland in the conference semifinals. You get to the conference finals this year. What do you need to do, or what are some things you need to improve on, do you think, as a team to get over that hump?
I personally think we got all the tools. We got everything. Now it's just, we got new pieces. We got Jeremy. We got APJ. We got Bol, who hasn't played. We got so many pieces we're still trying to factor in and still play the same way we're playing. So it's going to take a little learning experience, and we're going to be up and downs. But at the rate we're going with and the steadiness of winning and competing, I love where we're at. I just can't wait for next season. I'm always trying to prepare mentally and gear up for that.
Hey, I noticed when you were talking, when we were doing the bucket segment, the earlier segment with the questions from fans, you were sort of talking about that communication, that dialogue that you have. I feel like the separator for a lot of great players is that intelligence, right? That basketball IQ and just thinking the game. And it seems to me like that connection that you and Jokic have, and how smart he is and how intelligent he is, you guys just are like the perfect pair. You play off each other perfectly. What is that like, playing with a guy with that high level of intelligence?
It's a lot of fun. There's a reason why he's the best big man in the game. He sees the game as a whole. He sees the tempo. He sees the pace. He sees how the other teams are playing. He sees the fouls. He sees his fouls. And most of all, he wants to win. You know, he's unselfish. You know, he's looking at me, but he's throwing the ball to the corner, and guys are ready for the ball. You know, so it's just that willingness to be unselfish and make the right play for everybody and have the ultimate goal and trying to win is so fun. And we just play off each other knowing that we can go to anything. I can send him a screen, he can send me a screen, I can cut knowing that somebody else might be open. Like we're just playing for the team, we're playing to win. And why?
I feel like a lot is made of him being too unselfish at times. Like that's a sort of a narrative at times in the media. Like he needs to shoot more, or he needs to be more aggressive in these situations. Do you guys ever have to tell him like, "Hey, man, you got to shoot the ball more," or do you guys sort of accept this is this? Because to me, like you can't change who a guy is fundamentally. Fundamentally, he's a thinking man. You know, he wants to play at his pace. He wants to survey. He wants to see, and he's like the guy that's always going to make the right play. He just happens to be, you know, an elite 7-foot scorer as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like he on the pick and pop, he has that shot most of the time.
Yeah.
But he's not going to shoot it every single time. Sometimes he might fake it and look for a back door, look for a corner. Like he just plays the game at such a higher level. He's not rushing anything. He's just playing his own game at his own pace.
Dude, you were in the bubble for a long time. I was in there
80-something days.
Yeah, I was in there like, I don't know, 5 weeks. I was one of the first guys out of the bubble. You know, I was in that first group that didn't make the playoffs. There were certain things that I was like looking forward to. What was sort of the first thing when you got out of the bubble and you were able to decompress a little bit and get over the emotions? What was sort of the first thing that you did that you were like, all right, I'm out of the bubble, I can do this now?
Well, I didn't drive a car in 80-something days.
I didn't even think about that.
Like I
didn't even think about
didn't drive
that.
a car in 80 days. So drove up to the mountains, spent a night in the mountains, and just, you know, took up some different air over there, you know?
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, I played golf a few times. So like I drove a golf cart, I guess, but that would be the extent of it. Oh man.
Yeah,
I'm not another
very
roll on
golfer.
a 3. This game I feel like is like literally night and day from the first 2 games. It's like the Miami Heat that we've, you know, been used to seeing offensively, the ball movement and everything, and they're doing such a good job. And I keep saying this, but they're doing such a good job of picking and choosing their spots of when to go to zone, when to send help. I mean, Spo is, you know, he's an elite coach, and this game has proven it. Whether they win or lose this game is, you know, it's a great example of that. All right, we're going to go to another timeout, commercial break. So our next segment is called Secret Recipe, and obviously Lakers are trying to get back in this game. What's the secret for the Heat to keep this lead and close it out in the fourth quarter? What's the secret?
I just think don't get tight. Now keep energy in the ball. Keep attacking mismatches. Just keep pacing the game. And I feel like they play better when their emotions are running high and they're playing faster pace, to getting up and down and kind of make it hectic for LA. So pace and definitely rebounding. Rebounding is going to be every single game, every single possession.
Yeah. Dwight does such a good job on the offensive rebound. He pursues it.
It's crazy when they have JaVale, they got Dwight, they got AD, like Morris. Like they can just bring in bodies and just be aggressive as they want on the boards and get you guys in foul trouble. That's what they try to do with us.
Yeah.
Sending bodies.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple Canadian questions. What you mentioned kind of like Nash earlier, and I've kind of talked to him a little bit about this because I think certainly him making it to the league back in the mid '90s was huge, and you know, the Raptors and the Grizzlies as expansion teams were huge, but there's just been this explosion over the last 10 years of Canadian talent and NBA guys. You guys have a ton of NBA guys now. You know, my teammate Nikhil Alexander Walker, another kid from the Toronto area that came into the league this year. What do you sort of attribute that to? Is it attention, development, globalization? I have no idea, but what do you attribute that to?
I feel like we've always had good players. We just haven't had the opportunity as some of the guys that have it from a young age all the way up, until they get drafted. We get either seen late or don't get seen at all because they're somewhere in Canada where no one really knows of or knows about of. So I feel like we've always had the talent, and it's good to see all the exposure we're getting and guys take it seriously where their dreams really can't come true. So I love that. I love having my little brother look up to me in the league and knowing that he has a chance to make it and have that drive.
Do you know Drake? Are you cool with Drake?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to his house?
Nah.
Have you seen pictures of it?
Nah. I seen the outside, but I never seen the
Bro, it's special, man. It's special.
I've heard.
No, it was on. I think it was Architectural Digest or something. He imported the finest porcelain and the finest tiles and the finest marble you can find, like the rarest of the rarest in every room. It's absolutely. He's got whatever. I'm exaggerating here, but he's got gold peacocks wallpaper. I don't even know. It's just it's insane. I think he's been honestly he's so good for the NBA. I love it. I love the fandom that he has. It's so good.
It's the one Canadian team in the league, We gotta support.
Yeah, but let's be honest, man. There should be a team in Vancouver. Vancouver is one of the best cities in the world. In the world.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. We're back with the game. Heat trying to hold on to this lead. You were guarded by Caruso a little bit in the conference finals. I talked a ton on game one just about the difference. He's a difference maker. His stats don't always show up. Deflections, loose balls, he just seems to play hard and make winning plays. He's a fierce competitor. He's a guy that I don't know. I have a ton of respect for him.
Yeah, he guarded me, and we were matched up in college when he went to Texas A&M, so we played against him twice. I've been seeing him since college. He definitely winning plays hard, and he has kind of that instinct you want guys to have, that quick, witty instinct. So,
if you're at the end of the game, you got 10 seconds left, and you're Jimmy with a tough turnaround. Tough. End of the game, ISO situation, tie game. Which white number 4 would you rather have guard you? Alex Caruso or me?
Game on the line, it don't matter, honestly. As long as I got the rock, it don't matter to me. But if I see you, JJ, I'm definitely,
right. So a right to left crossover with the step back.
No, I like left to right.
Left, yeah, because you like going right.
Actually, well, look at the stats. They're he likes to go left more, but he has a higher percentage going right. So which way you want to send me?
No, you've developed your game to a point where you just it's complete. Your offensive game is complete. I
appreciate it, JJ.
I know.
I appreciate it.
I can't really knock it, man. You got the mid range. You got the layup package. You have a floater. You have threes off the dribble, threes off the catch. It's impressive. I read that article a few years ago, by the way. Literally read it a few years ago, but it was talking just about your dad and the way that you guys trained growing up and how much time you spent working on your game. And I know we're on overtime right now, and overtime's huge in the high school hoops community. Can you just talk a little bit about your regimen growing up and how much time and how much work it took to get to the point you're at today?
Countless hours. I would go to school, come back home, do my homework right when I came home, or pick up my brother from school, do my homework, and then after that, from 5 to 6 to midnight, I'm out across the street shooting hoops, practicing, running hills, jogging around the block, just doing everything every single day, waking up early in the morning. That's a hell of a block.
Oh. That looked rough. That was a hell of a block. I mean, it takes a little bit more than anyone else is willing to do. That's the best way to describe it, right?
I think a lot of times when you feel like you're doing enough, it's really not. You know, for me at least.
That's it. Yeah, I feel So a great way to put that is like oh my gosh, that's a collision. Every year.
Yeah, I got hit something like that.
That's a foul, by the way. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, that's a foul.
It's a foul.
We're talking about a block. That's a foul.
That's a foul. But I feel like every year, like you get older, like in high school, like what you thought was work, like real work in high school, like really wasn't. And then in college is the same way. And like every year you're in the league, like you just, you can see it in the improvement you've made in your game, but you know, every year in the league, it takes more to continue to get better. And that to me is like the mark of someone who actually does diligent work is there's improvement, and it's visible improvement year to year.
I think you start to see guys or teams like really just lock in on your tendencies. All right, he wants to go left, and then they realize, okay, he really is only going left. You know, like those type of things. Now I'm able to go right and pull up, and now step back to my right. Now I'm comfortable shooting that late in the game. Like there's teams are trying to do everything they can to. They're just reading the scouting report. Send them left, force them to this, chase them, gap them, whatever they're doing. You know, you have to be ready for everything, or else you can't be out there.
Yeah. Well, Jamal, I really appreciate, as LeBron hits a tough layup to end the third, I really appreciate the time, brother. Good to see you. I can't wait to guard you next season, man. I can't wait to guard you next season.
I'm with it. Cool.
All right, bro. All right, this is Buckets on Buckets presented by KFC on overtime. It looks like maybe it's not the end of the third, so we're going to hold on 1 second. We got a Scott Foster sighting. He's going to do a review here. We got CJ McCollum coming on in the fourth. We're really excited about that. And there will be no time left. All right, I'm out. Buckets on Buckets presented by KFC on overtime. Go to kfc.com to get your bucket and have a beautiful spread like me. We will be back momentarily for the fourth quarter. See you guys soon. All right, welcome back to Buckets on Buckets, presented by KFC on Overtime. We're in the fourth quarter of a great NBA Finals game. We're going to be joined by my buddy from the Portland Trailblazers, CJ McCollum. CJ, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. A lot of Jimmy Butler right now, and the Heat defense has made some adjustments, and we've seen a little bit of a comeback here from LA. I'm curious to see, how LeBron gets into oh my God, as I say it, takeover mode, and all of a sudden he goes down the lane, get an and one chance to cut it to 2.
Jimmy's not sitting more than 3 minutes here to start this quarter, because if they lose this game, the series is over. And Bron's in start the fourth quarter mode, which means I'm no longer trying to get a triple-double. I'm trying to win so I can go home and see my family.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys played the Lakers in the first round. What makes them so difficult? I've asked Jamal that too. Jamal Murray was just on for the third quarter. But what makes them so difficult to beat? They've had, honestly, a pretty dominant run here in the playoffs.
I think their versatility. They can beat you a lot of different ways. They beat us with LeBron scoring 14 points. As I say that, Jimmy Butler checks back into the game.
Yeah.
They beat us.
Spo knows what's up. Spo knows what's up.
Yeah, he's not ready to go home and see his kids yet. They beat us every type of way, scoring in transition. They had role players hit threes. They have the ability to kind of play a lot of different ways. As you see against the Eastern Conference team like Miami Heat, it's 80s. They'll be a low hundreds game. They beat us high hundreds, mid hundreds, just mainly due to their versatility, size, and when their role players play well, it's almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that twice already tonight. It's when their role players are on, as Rondo was in Game 2, Dwight's had a huge impact. KCP in Game 1, shooting the ball in the first half, they're impossible to beat. Do you get into the GOAT debate, the LeBron versus MJ debate at all?
I used to when I was younger. I used to argue with people all the time. Now it's just more so realize that everybody has different opinions, and people just ignore the fact that you played against Kobe, especially prime Kobe.
Yeah.
I caught him towards the end.
Yeah.
You played against prime Bron, and people will argue with you and tell you you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Well, I mean, Bron is certainly the greatest of my generation. I mean, to be honest with you, Kobe was impossible to guard, but he was impossible to guard for anybody. The guy I always hated going against was prime D Wade. That was it for me, man. Because he just was so good in so many different ways. Whereas Kobe, and you know this because you checked him at some point, but he was either going to make the shot or he was going to miss the shot. There wasn't a whole lot any defender could really do.
It's true, and
God, back-to-back threes, tie game.
Yeah, that's a big shot. Jimmy's going to have to go into aggressive mode. I think, you got a point. Kobe was always in attack mode, and if he smelled blood, if he felt like you were afraid of him or if he felt like he had an advantage, he would try to score every play. D-Wade, he's going to get to the cup. He's going to hit fadeaways, and he's going to hit the big shots. I think my argument for people is that LeBron is the most complete player of our generation. If he wanted to average 35 to 40 a night, he could have for his career. He tried to get his teammates involved. He enjoyed passing. But I always tell people, if LeBron had Kobe or Michael Jordan's mentality, this wouldn't even be a discussion.
Yeah.
If he just wanted to go get buckets, he could go do that to make a statement. And he has done that before. But he plays the game, almost too unselfishly at times. And I think that's, in the argument's sake, that's why people will always argue Jordan and bring up the rings and all of that stuff. But if you close your eyes and picked one, like some people would say, you wouldn't be disappointed if you landed on either one of them.
No doubt. Rondo, by the way, has made 2 of those contested across-the-body left-hand layups off the glass in the last 5 minutes. All right, we're going to commercial break. CJ, we've got a segment called The Bucket. We're going to take some questions from fans, all right? Again, I have not curated these questions. I'm just reading you the questions. How does CJ shoot so well, and who do you think will win the finals?
Well, a lot of reps. There's a lot of people that probably shoot as good or better than me, but a lot of reps. I don't really care about misses. So I think when you don't care about misses, you become an even better shooter, just off the strength. Lakers in a landslide, although the Heat are challenging more than I thought they would without two of their key players.
Yeah. I got a question. When you're doing your shooting workouts, do you count only makes or do you count total shots? Like if
I used to count total shots growing up. It was shots, 500, 700,000, whatever the case may be. Now we do more so drill-based stuff. So it's make 7, get out. And I don't keep track of the total, but like whoever's rebounding might keep track of the total. But I might do a 15-shot variation drill for conditioning where it's run to the corner 3, catch and shoot 3, 1 dribble left, 1 dribble right, like that. But we're doing makes, so I'm not even counting shot attempts. As you can see, Fiona is just crawling around.
I love it. No, I like the shot combo drills too. Those are my favorite drills. You mix in like 3 or 4 shots. You do 3 or 4 reps through. So you take 12 to 15 shots and maybe you say like, all right, I got to make 11 out of 15 or 9 out of 12, whatever it may be. All right, there's another question. What was your favorite part of the bubble?
I think the storytelling and the fraternity that was displayed. Hanging around all the guys. Like I seen you by the pool. I like to see people's routines. I like to have those conversations like in passing. Those are the things that you really remember. I think with our group of guys, you've seen us, we hang out, like most teams hang out together, but the storytelling is even deeper, especially when you got a guy that's been in the league, 16 years, 15 years, you got staff, you eat with other teams, you get to hear the storytelling and just gain a better understanding of everybody's experiences in the league.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments from the bubble was after our last exhibition game, actually it was, Josh Hart and I went back to the Players Lounge, and we were all staying at the same hotel, the Blazers and the Pelicans were, and Melo was in there with Kyle O'Quinn, who I played with in Orlando and is maybe the funniest player in the NBA, and Lance Thomas, who's obviously a Duke guy, and played with Melo with the Knicks. And the 5 of us just had some wine and chatted till about 2 a.m., and the Melo stories out of that were just amazing, and that got recreated multiple times, whether it was after games with teammates or friends. That was certainly an awesome part of the bubble. All right, next question: who is the hardest player to guard in the league? That's a foul.
Combo. I used to hate guarding you, especially when you were in LA, because the first quarter was like the JJ. And then I don't understand. They'd give you the ball the first quarter, and you would touch it for 3 quarters. It was just confusing to me. But the first quarter was brutal with the illegal.
It was confusing to me too. It was confusing to me too.
I would say it started with you and Ginobili and Jamal Crawford, but now it's like Steph, because the on-ball, off-ball combination is just crazy, where he has the ultimate green. They look for him the whole game, and then he can go off ball. And when they're at their best, Draymond's initiating, and Steph gives it up and comes off screens. It's hard to guard.
We're done with the questions with the bucket, by the way. You had an interesting end of your second year, I want to say, in the playoffs versus Memphis, if I'm not mistaken, where you basically killed for that series. And it gave you this like momentum going into your third year, which is the year that you guys, I think, beat us in the playoffs. But I remember playing a preseason game in LA that year, and you were just cooking. And I came off a pick and tried to do my little throw and go chase action with Blake, and you stayed with me, and you were like, "Nah, JJ, it's not like last year. It's not like last year." And at that point, I'm still like, I knew you were a good player, but I was like, man, like, all right, guy. And then by the end of the second quarter, I was like, oh, this dude is a hooper. I think you ended up with like 37 in a preseason game. It was wild.
Yeah, those was real games for me, and that's the funny part. Like I remember going to those games and watching and not playing.
You talking about the preseason games?
That I'm going to post.
Yeah.
The preseason games. Those is real games when you're trying to get into the lineup. You're trying to solidify who you are. And, in years past, I wouldn't play in those. So I wouldn't play in preseason. And then I wouldn't play in regular season. So it was just a lot of frustration to where I was like, this is a playoff game. Approach it like that and it'll carry over. And I just wanted to stay locked in because I knew, I told my mom and dad, I told my girl, I was like, if I don't play well this season, they're going to trade me. It's like a 3-week it's a 3-year window of prove who you are in this league or they label you. And I hadn't found a label yet. And I knew, I was like, you got to get buckets. You got to be aggressive. You got to show who you are or you're going to be going to a new city.
Tyler Herro struggling a little bit tonight. Gets 2 big threes. It seems like no moment is too big for him. Like he's just built. He's made for this stage.
Yeah, he has the irrational Kentucky confidence. I love it though. Like he just.
They all have that too. They all have that.
Kentucky players. It's the Kentucky mentality, but I love it. The swag is there. Jimmy empowers them. That's going to be a triple-double. Jimmy empowers them, and in his mind, he's 10 for 10. And he think he's supposed to get the ball. Like this is his team in his mind already, which is what you want from your guys in these moments.
Bro, you said it, man. Like Jimmy, first of all, it's the Heat have empowered Jimmy, and then Jimmy in turn has empowered them. It's one of the best free agency signing trade, whatever you want to call it, in recent memory. Like this worked out so well for both teams. I'm so happy for Jimmy. I want to tell one little preseason story, because I don't think people really realize, like when you're a young player and you're not playing, every time you get any minutes, you are like trying to kill. I mean, at some point my second year where I wasn't playing at all, I would try to kill and shoot around. Like that was my competition. That was my only time on the floor. I remember it was either my third year, beginning of my third year, we were playing Atlanta. And this is like Joe Johnson's like now, 6 straight All-Star games or whatever it was. And we're guarding each other in the first half. And he comes to me at a free throw line. He's like, hey, man, he's like, can you just like slow down a little bit? Like, I'm not really trying to play hard tonight. And I remember being like, Joe, like, this is it for me. Like, this is all that I can do right now. I'm trying to like show that I belong in the league. And, it's tough, man, early on in your career. And you talked about potentially getting traded by Portland. And, I mean, you've had an unbelievable run there. You and Dame are just an incredible combo. And I'm obviously, as a friend, I'm happy for your success, man.
I appreciate that, man. I think a lot of younger guys don't understand the importance of the preparation. And my rookie year, I had OGs. I had Earl Watson on my team. I had Mo Williams. I had Jerome Wright, Chris Kaman. And they used to always tell me, young fella, your time going to come. But you got to do all the little stuff. You got to show up early. You got to practice hard and really remember these moments that you're going through. And that's how I've always approached it. Now when I get younger guys, it's crazy. I'm almost 30, and I'm talking about like younger guys on the team. You kind of tell them, like, layup lines, you're being evaluated. You're being evaluated if you don't show up at 3:30 when your game's at 7 and know you're not playing. Like I used to take this is before Uber. We was taking taxis.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Early bus.
Early.
Yeah.
You beat the early bus to get your work in while the cheerleaders on the court because that's your game. And then you run the stairs. And there used to be scouts watching at 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I used to tell guys, you're being evaluated right now. Fast forward, Alan Crabb gets $74 million from Brooklyn. Will gets traded to Denver. And both of them guys are starters in the league, getting paid a lot of money as second-round picks.
Tyler Herro with another bucket. All right, looks like we're going to another commercial break. All right, this one is called Hot Buckets. This is your opportunity to provide us with a hot take. I actually like this question a lot. If there was no bubble and the regular season had proceeded as planned, would these be the 2 teams that had made the finals?
I want to say no, because home court advantage is a killer. And imagine if teams had to actually fly to Miami. Imagine if teams had to actually fly. Could you imagine if this was the actual LA-Miami finals right now, and it was going back to Miami for game 3? I think it probably would have been a little different. I think Milwaukee would have played better. Obviously, that Boston series would have been a little different. I think the Clippers series is what it is because you've been there. The fans get there a little late anyway. But I think the mentality would have been different for a lot of guys if they were in their own element.
Oh man, between you and Jamal Murray, just like you guys just coming on, just throwing shots, tampering.
I mean, we're being honest here, man. I played in the playoffs against the Clippers a lot of times, and I will be able to see my girl or my family in the stands right away because there was empty seats around. Because people were just getting in late with the traffic.
You've only played in the Western Conference, right? So like
only in the West.
You can't say the Blazers because like that. Don't be a homer. Obviously the Blazers, you're going to say that. But like, what do you think is the best playoff atmosphere that you've played against?
Outside of us, OKC is wild, especially in a tightly contested game. It gets loud in there. The Oracle, before they moved to new arenas, I used to think they were pumping noise in there, especially if they hit 2 or 3 threes in a row. You can't hear. Dame trying to call a play. I'm like, I can't hear you, bro. Signal. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying. It's that loud.
The thing about Oracle that was so cool, and early on in my career, they weren't very good. Obviously, my rookie year, that was the We Believe team, but then they had a stretch where they weren't very good. But the Oracle honestly, it was like Portland a couple years, early on when you guys weren't in the playoffs. I don't think it was when you were there, but early, Dame's rookie year, whatever. But fans are still great. Oracle was awesome. OKC's always awesome. And the Rose Garden or the Moda Center was always one that I was like, oh, this is dope. Honestly, this is why I think Toronto, to me, I had them winning the East this year. I really did. I thought they were going to win the East, and I think them not having that home court advantage in the bubble is huge. And keep in mind too, people don't really understand this, but you're going in and out of customs every time you fly in and out of that place. And and they got a crazy atmosphere in there. It's a tough place to play. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have Miami winning the East, but
I didn't either. I actually thought the Clippers would make it to the championship this year.
Well, it's funny because I think the Clippers were the one team in the West that could beat the Lakers, and Denver I don't think matched up quite as well with them. There's something about the way that the guys on the Clippers looked at the Lakers and that rivalry that, I think they had a little bit of a mental edge where I just think the Lakers were just too good for everybody else in the West.
Yeah, I think with a healthy roster, I think we would have gave them more of a run for their money. But obviously,
how was your back, by the way? How was your back?
It's a lot better. I actually get a CT scan in 2 weeks just to kind of check in and see how things going. But it feels a lot better. The dog walks and the retired life has been treating me well.
Okay. Can you do your Mike Tyson impersonation just once, please?
I broke my back. Spinal.
Spinal.
My back. Spinal.
It's so good. So good. The first time I heard of you, CJ, by the way, we've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring this up because I like you, and it would be disingenuous of me if I didn't bring this up. But the first time I heard of you was when you put on a performance against Duke in the NCAA tournament, and your team Lehigh beat us. Going into that game, what was your mindset?
This is my moment. I have been waiting on this my whole life. I was envious. I ain't gonna lie. I was envious of all big school players. I hated Duke in general. And the fact that they were able to play on TV, those types of schools were able to play on TV every day. They had multiple pairs of shoes. They had the hype. They were considered NBA ready because of their competition they played against. I was just jealous and envious, and I couldn't wait to play against a team like that. I had got a taste of the NCAA tournament my freshman year when we played Kansas, and they had the Morrison twins, T-Rob, Sharon Collins, Tyshawn Taylor, Cole Aldridge, Xavier Henry. And I played well, but I was 160 pounds. So at that point, I had got close to 200, and I was a junior. And I was like, oh, they say Austin Rivers is a lottery pick. They got Who else did they have? I don't remember. I think it was about 3 or 4. Mason Plumlee was there. There was about 3 or 4 NBA players in their team, and no one was considering us, like, giving us a chance. They were like, oh, Duke will slide. Duke will go to the Final Four. And I'm like, there's no way they're going to beat us because it's going to come down to guard play, and they have nobody that can guard me. And I told my brother I was going to get 30. I told the coaching staff, I was like, I'm going to get 30. I just need a little bit of help. I told the team, I'm going to keep us in the game, just keep it close, and I win it late. And I honestly wasn't surprised we won because I had kind of seen like how they play. I seen the guards, and I said, "There's nobody out there that can guard."
Did you like this call, by the way?
Jimmy is the master of getting free throws. Like a lot of times, he just goes in to get contact. I love how he seeks contact. I got to add that to my game.
He seeks it out.
Points.
Well, he's got the frame to do it. Speaking of frame, you just brought this up. There's this picture. By the way, I'm watching the game. I'm not reading off anything. But there's this picture. This is genuinely, I just popped in my head. There's this picture of you, and I think it was B.J. Mullins, maybe?
It was Costa.
It was Costa, yeah. That's who it is. Your freshman year in high school?
The funny part is that picture's my sophomore year.
That picture's your sophomore year?
5'7", 115 pounds. Ooh, that's tough.
There's part of me that has never wanted to believe that picture is real.
It's real. And the funnier part is that I thought I was going to the league at that size and that height, and people used to laugh at me. And I was like, I'm going to get taller eventually. I thought I was irrational confidence, JJ.
Well, we all have that to a degree.
I'm going to the league.
That's tough. That's a tough 3. Wait, so you thought you were 5'7", 115 sophomore year. You thought you were going to the league. At what point did you hit a growth spurt?
So I always thought I was going to the league, right? My freshman year, I was 5'2", 108 pounds. I played 3 quarters JV, 2 quarters varsity. I averaged 20 points a game in 3 quarters at 5'2". Like I was getting baskets.
That's not a surprise to me, by the way. That's not a surprise to me.
Sophomore year didn't go as planned. All right, so that's when the confidence kind of wavered. I was like, this might not be it. I ain't got no scholarship offers. I don't even start varsity. I'm coming off the bench. Yeah. So I kind of like another foul draw. I kind of dedicate my work ethic towards creating space, getting stronger, wet jump shot. I go from averaging. It's kind of like my NBA career. I averaged 6.8 points per game my sophomore year. I jumped to 25. I hit a growth spurt. I get to 5'11". I'm about 135, 140 pounds. And I go from 6 points a game to 25. And that's when I knew. My first career start, I broke the school record and scored 54 points.
That's 5'11". Amazing.
And that's when I was like, if I get to 6'2", I got action.
If I get to 6'2", I'm in.
6'2", I'm getting to the league. And I got to 6'3". I committed to the league, I had 5'11".
At no point in time, I mean, I was getting buckets at that age too. At no point in time was I like, oh, I'm going to the NBA. I never thought that.
Once you got to Duke, you had to think you was going to the league, though. Once you played the McDonald's game, you knew.
True story. I had a rough time. My sophomore year. I was third team All-American. We made the Final Four or whatever. But I had a rough year. It was a hard year for me. Made some changes in my life going into my junior year. But at the start of my junior year, I took Italian because I was like, it'd be cool if I could go earn some money overseas, and Italy seems like a nice place to travel and go hoop. This is my junior year at Duke. Like I still was not like, it wasn't like, I had De'Aaron Fox was on the podcast the other day, and he was talking about when he was 15, he was like, I saw myself on a mock draft, then I knew I was going to be in the NBA. I'm like, what?
I was checking mock drafts at Lehigh, but they had me like undrafted the second round. And I was like, gotta get better.
Jimmy Butler has basically, you know that gif of him.
Right foot, right hand.
Yeah, that was nice. That gif of him at the end of game 2, where he's like, all right, when he's on the bench. You saw that? It was all over
and
he
talking.
Yeah, he's got 41. He's got 41, 12, and 10.
I love his game. Bro. I love his game mentality because people don't put respect on his name enough. Like, he is really, really good. He's out here without 2 starters in the finals against arguably the best player of all time and is killing. Like, I had him getting swept. When they said Bam was hurt and Gordon, I was like, it's over.
When I did game one, I had D'Angelo Russell on in the fourth. So we have a bet. I don't think the Heat are getting swept. I told him that game one. So we bet a nice bottle of wine. So apparently he likes Opus One. So it looks like I'm not going to have to buy him a bottle of Opus One. I am gonna send something. I'm gonna find something. Maybe a Dujac, a Puncel, some red Burgundy for him to get me. Hey, speaking of wine, I'm gonna give your wine a plug, even though you can't buy it because it's sold out. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you, bro.
Thank you, man.
No, but it's you partnered with a winery out in the Willamette Valley, and you have your own wine. You released it, and now no one can buy a bottle because they're all spoken for.
They're all spoken for. However, there's some other things that we have planned in the future. Well, you will be able to potentially get something else. You'll have to visit McCollumHeritage91.com. It's available there. Will be available there. We'll do a release, a press release in the next few months to kind of let people know what's going on next. They just kind of gave that up.
Yeah, I mean they tried to run a little misdirection. Hammer action is basically a reverse screen for the guy on the wing to get on a baseline drive to get to the corner. Kuzma was the guy going for the three. God, Tyler Herro in the fourth. He wants it.
Big lips. Me mug. Somebody
I don't know that
it stinks.
I don't like making fun of guys' appearance at all. I'd never do it. But like Duncan Robinson had that thing on his chin. It's like 4 hairs in game 2. Tyler's got that going on right now. That's their playoff beard, bro. Hey, good for them.
Hit the Doug Funny. Young assassins. They call him Young Goat.
Yeah, Tyler Herro's, man, I've talked about him so much over the last month. He's tough. He's tough.
And the crazy part is that he was hurt most of the season, so people didn't get to see it. Kendrick Nunn started every game this year for the Miami Heat.
I know.
Every game. And he can hoop.
I know. Do you pay attention? Oh, Jimmy with another rebound to add to his triple-double already. Do you pay attention at all to the draft, college basketball? Like, is there anybody in this draft that you're particularly excited about to see in the NBA?
I've been seeing Cole Anthony work out since he was a young boy because I work out in New York a lot in the summer. Wow, big shot. Yeah. That's a big shot that's going to carry over next game for him because he's been struggling from shooting. I've been watching him since he was younger, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. The kid from Georgia, athletic. I like his story. And there's a couple big men that I've been watching. But other than that, unless there's my agent asking me about a player or like our organization asking us about players, I don't really watch.
Right. All right. It looks like D'Angelo Russell is going to owe me that bottle of wine. I'm very excited about that. Congrats to the Heat. Should be a great game 4.
Get out of there.
CJ, I appreciate you, bro. This was awesome. Be well, bro.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Heal up.
I'm going to tap in with you.
Yeah. Always good to see you, bro.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. We got 0.7 seconds left for the Lakers to inbound the ball. This has just been a great performance from the Heat, start to finish. They responded every time the Lakers made a run. We'll have a great game 4, guys. This has been Buckets on Buckets presented by KFC on Overtime. This has been awesome. Thanks for hanging with us. Peace out.